The past few weeks have been incredibly difficult and emotional. Like the entire nation of Israel and millions of Jews around the world, we've been watching as hostages are released from the terror tunnels of Hamas and Palestinian Islamic Jihad. And honestly, it's impossible not to be deeply moved. Seeing young women and elderly men emerge from the darkness of captivity into the light of freedom, it's a moment that defies words. These are innocent people, violently taken from their homes, from music festivals, from their beds while still in their pajamas. Now, after 15 months of unimaginable horror, they're finally back in the arms of their families. But their journey wasn't just a few kilometers from captivity to freedom. It was an emotional journey that took them and all of us from despair to anger, from fear to hope, from desperation to determination. Watching them be released felt like watching something out of a dystopian nightmare. A moment that laid bare the sheer cruelty of the enemies Israel faces. Take 20-year-old Agam Berger, paraded in front of banners declaring that Israel had been defeated, forced to accept a certificate and a goodie bag like she had just completed summer camp, rather than surviving a brutal kidnapping from October 7, 2023. Or 28-year-old Abel Yehud, made to walk through a jeering, hostile crowd in Gaza, protected only by the same Palestinian Islamic Jihad terrorists who had murdered, tortured, and raped so many others. You could see the fear in her eyes. Or 80-year-old Gadi Moses, forced to endure that same aggressive mob, staring into eyes filled with hatred. And then there's Yarden Bibas, released into a world where he doesn't even know if his wife and two small children are dead or alive. Yet despite all of this, we are still told by people like Australian Foreign Minister Penny Wong that the innocent people of Gaza must not pay the price for Hamas's crimes. But the scenes surrounding their hostages' release, crowds cheering, filming their terror like it was a festival, paint a very different picture. And in stark contrast to those mobs, we see the dignity of the hostages and their families. These families have been trapped in an emotional roller coaster of despair and hope, waiting desperately for news, any news, praying for a miracle. Let's be clear. This isn't a hostage exchange. This is blackmail, a cruel ransom. These innocent people are not being traded for other innocent people. They are being released in exchange for terrorists, including mass murderers who, without a doubt, will return to terror. And that raises the hardest question of all. How can a society that celebrates murderers ever become a society that lives in peace? If the world refuses to acknowledge that Palestinian society, especially in Gaza, must be de-radicalized, then peace will never be more than a distant fantasy. This deal is painful, and the emotional traumas we're all going through will continue in the weeks ahead. But for the Jewish people, life is the most precious thing of all. There's a powerful teaching in the Talmud. Whoever saves one life saves the world entire. Each time a hostage is freed, an entire world is saved. But as we celebrate each miraculous return, moments that fill our hearts with such joy, we are also confronted with another painful reality. So many other worlds have already been destroyed.